Hey folks, it's Kyle. Welcome to the Dave and Kyle Show. So we are here to improve the healthcare system, look at the latest things changing how healthcare works in AI, telehealth, and more, affecting our everyday work as providers and executives in the space. I'll pass it to you, Dave.
Hey everybody, good morning. I also just realized my name is not Dave, but David Liu here. So I guess you guys all know my name. Also, please silence all cell phones. Yeah, we're recording right now, please. So today we're talking more about telehealth and continuation with last week. If you've watched last week or you didn't watch last week, we all know, telehealth, you can Zoom and talk to your doctor, but did you know that mental health therapists can actually Zoom in to talk to your kids while they're at school? Keep listening, keep tuning in to hear how.
Awesome. And thanks to the CE app for sponsoring. You can go to myceapp.com, sign up for free, manage all your continuing education and license renewals in seconds. So, Dave, I think I'm in a unique situation versus you here where I actually have kids in school. And so I
You're
could
saying
speak
it?
a little bit to that.
How do you know I don't
Uh,
have kids? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, out there in the world, who knows, really? But yeah, so tell us a little bit more. I'm curious, who's going to be seeing my kids potentially?
Yeah, yeah. Well, not your kids, Kyle. This is only in Arizona. But today's article is from Kold.com, and we're highlighting telehealth services offered to rural Arizona schools. So the Arizona District or Department of Education is currently partnering with this cool app called Cartwheel. And it's a telehealth service provided for kids that really don't have access to healthcare for nursing, but now they're getting mental health care. So here's the video. Um, some quick facts. This partnership is with the entire state of Arizona, all the kids in there, with about 250 school districts and charter schools, including 200,000 students across those counties, excuse me. And in a quote from the superintendent, Tom Horn, if a student is significantly depressed or anxious, they can't study and they can't learn. They need someone to talk to get over it, and that's what this is designed for. And some more statistics. Phoenix, Arizona Children's Hospital experts found that 90% of Arizona's communities have a shortage of mental health providers, placing the state in the bottom third of the US. So pretty good underserved niche here, doing a lot of good. I also want to take a look quickly at Cartwheel. So Cartwheel is this telehealth service now available to all these kids, but also they have a lot of cool services. And so highest quality care end to end for students and families. They have the evidence-based therapy, talking to counselors at school, psychiatrists, and medications if your kids need to start that. Parent guidance, so you can even talk to the parents to provide personalized guidance, family therapy. This one I thought was really cool, actually providing therapy if needed for the faculty and the staff. We all know, or at least we probably have someone that we know is a teacher or works in the education system. They can get kind of burnt out. And, these are folks that are caring for our kids, or not my kids, but Kyle's kids. So we want them to be doing a good job.
Yeah.
And a part of that is having great mental health. So, yeah, more about, yeah, I'm curious, as a parent, I'm not a parent, as pointed out earlier, maybe in one day, but Kyle, any thoughts about this from the parent perspective?
Yeah, it's I think it's great, especially with rural care. The public health side of me is excited about that because also just going to public school, I'm sure you have an experience with this too, where resources are pretty limited and having really accessible mental health for all students as well as even parents and such and teachers is not really cost effective. But before telehealth, so companies like Cartwheel are making that really accessible. And as a parent, I could see kind of both sides of it. One, I'd be excited about this, having it available for my kids, especially if parents like I can have some involvement in maybe knowing the type of care that's available, even potentially selecting and kind of matching who's going to offer the care. It's, with any kind of mental health, you want to have some sort of connection with the person providing it and know that maybe they have some expertise in your type of situation. You agree on certain sort of foundational things and approaches, right? And so I could see on the flip side of having a lack of visibility could be super concerning, right? Like, hey, who's talking to my kid, and like, what kind of advice are they gonna to give them in a time of vulnerability? But I think like Cartwheel, especially, it seems like they're involving parents. They're offering these services to faculty. Like, they're not just looking at only the patient as the kid. They're looking at the whole ecosystem, which I really, really like.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous actually. I didn't grow up in rural Arizona. I actually grew up in suburban suburbs of LA. I mean, we barely had a nurse in my high school. Forget about therapists. If I wasn't having a good day or I was feeling sad or depressed, it's kind of tough it out. My
Yeah,
if I told my dad about it, he'd be like, "Why are you calling me?"
go walk it off. Walk
Yeah,
it off,
yeah, go
son.
walk it off. Yeah, you need to get into Harvard, son. There's no days off. So,
No
or
days
get
off.
the typical, boy crying wolf. Like, are you really sick? Are you just saying that so you can get out of school?
Same,
Yeah,
same, man. I
yeah.
think I had maybe 3 sick days from kindergarten through high school. The whole time. It was same. Like in public school, I had a great public school. Lots of sort of resources, educational resources, but the like I think it was barely a nurse. Same kind of thing. Not much in terms of behavioral health besides care for kids on the spectrum and different kinds of capabilities and such. But yeah, there were very traumatic things that happened, both just for a whole school or individual families and such. The solution was, hey, take a few days. You could go home, then kind of have the family deal with it. There was not much involvement. Cool. Again, there's an argument for both. Maybe it is on the family to navigate through those things. Sometimes families need extra support too to help the families available health care doesn't offer. Really.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate where my job. I mean, I work for a hospital, so you would think we have pretty good healthcare, and we do. But not all jobs have great healthcare or even telehealth options. Say if you work remotely or you work in a remote rural area, or you just have bad, crappy benefits. So, what's your experience there been like, Kyle, before your
Yeah.
entrepreneurial days, or even current?
Yeah. The access to benefits has definitely been something lacking for me for a while, which I'm used to. But I started. So we joined a fitness club called Lifetime. They have locations all over the place. Very cool. And then I was talking with somebody there that I was coaching soccer for my son's school. Uh, volunteering for that, and they said, you know what, you should come here and do it. So they added me to coach soccer in a couple of weeks there. And because of that, I'm technically a part-time employee. And so I get some benefits from this large public corporation that I would not have otherwise from my small business. And so things like 401k, stock options, and behavioral health access. They have a program that started as a pilot and then they started expanding it called LT Mind, where there's a licensed behavioral therapist available, and um, not just for kind of like, hey, if you have some kind of problems going on, we help you with that. There is a separate service for that. But this is really advancing your career, which is great, and advancing your personal life. So some of it, they have executive specific coaching to kind of get you to that next level as an executive and leader within the company.
Wow.
And I have access to the same exact stuff. So I'm like, hey, help me. Like, I'm only working a few hours here and there for you, but I have access to it. So helping with like personal career advancement, like leveling up my mentality, marriage, all these sorts of
Wow.
parenting. It's great. Yeah.
Wow. They're grooming you. They're
Yeah,
grooming you to be the next CEO of Lifetime Fitness.
that's the idea. It is a public company, so I'm sure there's some legal disclaimers here as to, hey, our discussion here doesn't influence the stock at all or relate to
Right,
financial
right.
advice and yada yada. But yeah, it's a very cool organization, and they really look at kind of the whole person, for their members, but also the employees.
Right. Right. And, one of the big, I guess, talking points or drawbacks of telehealth is obviously the tele part of it. It's virtual, it's over internet connection, and some people are, you know, more like, hey, I think I'd get a lot more if I talk to a doctor or a professional in person. But the reality is, especially for parents who are often right next to their kid or even busy teachers, they don't have the time or the capability to just, stop what they're doing and go to the doctor's office and appointments at 10 a.m. and then it's 11 a.m. You still haven't seen anyone. So I think telehealth provides that flexibility where otherwise you might not have any. If you had to drive to the coach's office, say it's like 30 minutes away and then do parking and then, stuck in traffic versus pop on over to your phone or your laptop and just start doing it. I think that's one of the biggest pros of telehealth. Now, obviously,
For
if
sure.
you want that in person, probably need a referral from your doctor. But I like how easy to access it is, especially for you. Sounds like Lifetime's a great company to work for. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
speaking of working for people, for all the clinicians watching, a new thing we want to do is highlight all the opportunities there are. Especially if you're a self-starter, to see how you can jump in, how you can get involved. So, taking a look at Cartwheel, this is just this one company. There are a lot of job openings, look like. So, unfortunately, none of these, I can't apply for any of these since none of this is relevant to me, but looks like they are looking for a ton of different therapists. So, all different kind of states. Each state has their own laws, I assume. Psychiatric nurse practitioner. Also, if if you're more business minded, you want to do program manager or success manager, making sure all the customers are successful and happy. So, pretty
Yeah.
cool. Take a look. It's just in the on the homepage of the Cartwheel website. But any tips or final comments here, Kyle, on people that either on the consumer side or maybe more on the business side?
Yeah, I think looking at companies like this, if you're interested in getting into telehealth or interested in getting more on the operational side versus the clinical side, I think telehealth is a good route because it lets you get into the fold of a company like that. And usually those types of companies might be a little more flexible in terms of saying like, hey, as you know, I'm involved as a clinician, I'm helping our patient base, but I'm also very interested in the operational side. And private companies may be a little more open to that versus like a hospital setting, that sort of thing. So it can help you, maybe not apply for the job of clinical operations if you have no experience there, but at least get into the organization and kind of explore and see yourself in these types of roles, get to know other people that do have expertise.
And then maybe you'll start your own telehealth offshoot.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Who knows?
best way to start your own company is to learn about someone else's and start the competition. Right?
And meet great people that you can recruit too.
Exactly. Well, LinkedIn is encouraging us to keep our episode at 15 minutes, so we'll stop it right here. One quick thing, if you like what you're hearing, give this video a thumbs up, really helps us out. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe and the bell icon to get our latest videos as they come up. If you're on LinkedIn, just click like or follow. Just clicking that button supports us a bunch.
And feel free to comment too if you have ideas and thoughts. We want to hear from you and in terms of questions and next steps from this video and just other ideas. Thanks again to the CE app for sponsoring. You go to myceapp.com, links in the description, and sign up for yourself or for your team. Thanks, Dave. For anybody watching that's still here at this point, feel free to also send us an email. You get our direct contact, Dave and Kyle Show at Gmail, and you get early access to the community that we're forming. Folks in the space that just want to advance their careers and help each other get to that next level. Thanks again.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.